All right, and here we go to end the week with a little JLV East. It is week 3 of 8 here in Sochi this week. One driver spending 4 tokens on the grid. That is Trixie for WTech Starlight. Everybody else down with 2 or 1, except for our 0 token spenders. Upon the entirety of Danube Flow, Cookie, Levioso, Sir Simplot, and the entirety of EVO, not spending anything. Big gains this week in the garage. We had speed and grip upgrades from WTS, DFR, and GOD, and a double speed from MEV. They're looking great now. Really low on the standings so far. Motor EVID, Danube Flow, Evolve, 2, 1, and 0 points respectively. It's time to get going. Let's take a look at the qualifying. And we will strap in for a qualifying here. All eyes on Trixie for the pole. Our big spender of the day, WTech Starlight, climbing their way up the ladder quite nicely. Starting off in the JLV East this season with the 4th best vehicle. They loud and clear have the 2nd best car now, chasing down MEV. As Trixie rounds up through the second half of the circuit here. Really big and bold, long laps demanding of speed, a little bit of grip through these tight sections, but mostly a speed-friendly course, which should favor Motor EVID. First lap, Trixie has it by 3/10 over Enigma, of course, in the Motor EVID. Love that color scheme. Enigma starting off with a very slow start to the season. No points yet at all, and just 2 points for his owner and teammate Amoir. Still holding on to 2nd spot. Motor EVID is looking at a 2-3 on the grid for now as Trixie improves even on his last lap. 31.92 it stands thus far. Guetzli, an excellent result for his team. Yannick winning the last race in Huavelli, Finland. And there's Yannick as well. Right up there in 6th spot with a 6th fastest lap. Not able to improve it, but we do have Guetzli jumping over Amoir for 3rd place in the qualifying. Excellent lap from Guetzli. Man, what a start. Only 1 token spent from Yannick, 2 from Guetzli. A great result to start the day. It's to start the weekend, rather, I should say. For GOD, Trixie on pole with a 31.92.23 back is Enigma for Motor EVID in 2nd place. Guetzli and Amoir on the 2nd row. Austin Dunn for Lahama Racing in 5th place to start. Yannick 43 in 6th, Ningenfer and Hyperion in 7th and 8th for WTech and Fast Racing. They tie 1.55 off the pace. Fabio GGPT, Hyperion's teammate, right behind him in 9th and starting in 10th, rounding out the first half of the grid. Lulzy for Scott Pole Auto. Again, spending 2 tokens. We'll be looking for points. Todd Sod, no tokens spent today, but a greatly improved car. Danube Flow now has overall a better vehicle than the CPR car. So this will be interesting. Which team takes that slot as the top team? If Danube Flow can work their way back, Pamuchis and Levioso will be lining up right behind Todd Sod. Tomatoes from Lightning in 14th. Asni in 15th. Cookie and Apollon in 16th and 17th. Sir Simplot in 18th, and rounding out the grid, as usual, the EVOs in 19th and 20th. 420 off the pace is Tully. They are slipping further and further behind. Let's get to the race here in the beautiful Sochi center of athletics and entertainment. It is Trixie off to the races. Here we go. Who will defend? Who will take over? Any spots off the start, and more is off the track early into that runoff area, but into the back of him is Yannick. Hyperion gets the benefit of that, trying to get by Austin Dunn. Yannick goes nearly sideways to defend. Ooh, it is a tough battle in the middle of the front pack as Trixie and Enigma start to pull away really early right off the bat here in Sochi. All right, and more Guetzli boy battling for third place, and more uses the speed to get by. Hyperion looks on the inside on the final turn and gets by Guetzli boy as well. Yannick right on the back of Guetzli, passing his teammate who has the greater token spend, but he's on the better tires. They are now battling each other. Enigma and Amor also battling each other for second and third. We will have to keep a close eye on the GOD and the MEVs to see if they hold each other up in this race. Guetzli, Hyperion to Yannick. In your top six, Yannick gonna push by Hyperion once again. Where is Hyperion's teammate? Fabio, who started right behind him. He's not in 7th. That's where Asni is. Lolzy and Ningo Fur of 8th and 9th. He's not in 10th either. Austin Dunn just passed Hassad for that position. Sir Simplot, Pamushis, then Fabio, all the way down into 14th spot. What a horrible start for the fast racing driver. Sir Simplot bumps Todd Sod off the track on the first turn and gets by him into 11th, chasing down that one final point as in 10th place on the grid. Austin Dunn holding onto it for Lahama right now. Not a great start for him either. Looking for valuable points as one of the weaker vehicles on the grid now is Lahama. Back up top, Amor and Enigma still slipstreaming each other as a team, trying not to get in each other's way. Will Amor go for a pass on Enigma? He takes a different line to become less of a threat to his slipstream. Whoa, they are sliding all over already, only 4 laps in. The grip is really hard for these cars right now. It is definitely a hard tire advantage early on. If they don't get into the pits soon enough. It says they could stretch these tires for 9 laps. I would hate to see anyone doing that. And it won't be for much longer. Guetzli's going to be into the pits first. The rain is on its way. Trixie is well around the first half of the track, but that rain is going to come and affect these top 3 drivers before they know it. Guetzli only onto the intermediates, a more conservative approach, being able to handle the conditions of the not yet saturated track. The rest of the inter drivers coming out just as it starts raining. We'll have to see what the leaders will be doing. They should be going onto the wet tires if all strategy succumbs to logic, but you never know with the AI drivers. The track is almost half wet already. We see inters from Enigma, and more going to the inters as well. What a strategy choice here. And the rain stops, so the inters is the wet choice. Trixie will be fine, almost 4 seconds ahead. Not a big deal, as this rain will be gone in a couple laps anyway. However, Guetzli boy, a great advantage to get on those tires a lap earlier, has made his way into 3rd place ahead of Amor. Hyperion, half second behind Yannick. GOD in excellent racing position right now. However, the wet tires will lose them a little bit of time. And they are staying out for one more lap. Let's see when the drivers start to come in. It could be later down the order. Sir Simplot even going to push another lap? Yep. The drivers at the bottom of the order may take a peel in Apollon on his wets into the pits, and Pamushis as well. Better choice for them on the wets. Those on the inters are going to waste a little bit of grip sliding around. Trixie works his way into the very narrow pit entry for a set. Still going to be well ahead of Guetzli on the inters. On to the hards now for Trixie to conserve that lead as you see the trailing drivers sliding around, but the rain is coming back. The rain is coming back. Here we go. Yannick is going to change on to inters from the wets and stay on wet tires. Oh man, 5 drivers onto the dries. That is going to cost them dearly. Trixie, Gutsuba, and Amor Oh man, they are going to be kicking themselves. Enigma is on the inters as Trixie will pass him ever so momentarily. Nope, he will just peel right into the pits. Enigma slides, sweeping, drifting around that last corner, but it's coming. Oh my god, are you kidding me? The rain is going away again, and this is going to destroy Trixie's race. Will he be able to get it back? There's only 25 laps in this race. He's onto the wets. Not the inters. The track is drying already. Who else has been affected by this? Well, Hyperion, Ningen Fur has pitted 3 times, but Ningen Fur, Trixie's teammate, is on to the dry mediums at least now. God, it's got to be frustrating down there. As Levioso gets pushed off the track from Ningen and Asni, who have the dry compounds, working their way up. Enigma on to the dry tires, the mediums from the inters. Amour also onto the mediums, and Trixie now in the pits, finally getting onto the hards. He could take those to the end of the race. It is possible, but unlikely. No, they are docked for 13. That'll be only 23 laps. So Trixie's going to go for probably a short stint on the hards and then a stint on the softs to end it. Gwetzli is now up into third. Trixie has some work to do. The dominating car on the grid ruined, absolutely sabotaged by the weather here in Russia today. His home race absolutely backfiring on him so far. Absolutely incredible. And instead, we have an MEV12, the team with only 2 points to their name thus far, looking for maximum points. Amour with the fastest lap as well to go with it. It would be a maximum haul if that is the way it stayed. Let's see how else the rest of the order has shaped up. Gwetzli comfortably into third, as we said, onto the hards. Trixie gaining on him, however, as he gets caught in the lap traffic. An excellent position for Lolz here. In 5th place for Scott Pohl. Fabio all the way up into 6th, so he had a benefit on the strategy. He's swapped places with Hyperion is down the order now. You never know where these FFRs are going to be this race. But Asni, amazing strategy as well, with however 3 pit stops. Fabio only 2. Definitely the winners there. Asni into 7th position, leapfrogging his teammate Todd Sod. And the DFR, with no token spent, sitting in 7th place, must be pleased as punch with this result thus far. As Trixie battles Gwetzli now, in for 3rd place. We'll just check up on that battle. He's looking inside, takes a slipstream and does a beautiful pass. Should be able to hold on to that position. Ningen Fur, the teammate of Trixie, in 8th place, pushing with the mediums to pass Asni. Yannick follows behind. Had a beautiful start, a rough intermediate stint on those tires as the weather came in, filing in for the hard battle back in the second half of this race as we are past the halfway point of the race officially. Yannick just back 1 position, battles now Hyperion for the final point. Hyperion holds that for now. 5 seconds back, looking for a nice slipstream pass before we look at Austin Dunn, who's fallen out of the points for Lahama Racing, unfortunately. 2 tokens spent for him, 5 seconds back. Todd Sod disappointedly down into 11th place now after a not so bad start in qualifying. Sir Simplot Tomatoes Cookie, as he and Levy take a brief trip into the runoff there. Pamucius, Toli, Chevy Microbus, and miraculously, EVO is not in last place. That belongs to Apollon. Enigma and Amour lead it 4 seconds clear of Amour's Enigma. Oh, Trixie just takes it into the back of Amour, almost looking into the pass. Has worked his way by Gwetzli Boy and looks to challenge for 2nd place. It looks like Amour is just getting in his way. Trixie needs to give a little bit of space to get around him. Uses Sir Simplot as a distraction, and he's back into 2nd. So, disaster saved by Trixie. He is now just 3 1/3 back of your leader, Enigma. But Enigma will be heading into the pits, maybe with a little bit better tire strategy. Who will know? 2 sets of mediums to end it? Or Trixie may be forced to have a set of very worn softs at the end, depending when he comes in for his hards. We will only be able to find out and watch the rest of the battles in the meantime. Guetzli comfortably in fourth, trying to take care of the lap traffic with as little problems as possible. Well, Z, absolutely peachy keen in fifth place with that 4 token spend, right? We have, sorry, the 2 token spend. An incredible haul and performance from the Scott Pole Autos. No longer in the basement of the JLV East. Fabio coming in on his short soft stint. We'll be looking at a medium to end the race. Yes, indeed it is. And Hyperion right behind him, his teammate. Taking softs. Ooh, that's a long time to be on soft tires. I think mediums might have been the better call as Zasny is able to slide by momentarily. As Fabio now ditches Yannick to the side and pushes past him. Yannick has got to get in to change those mediums if he's going to start losing time and precious points here. As we approach the twilight hour of this race, Amoir is in for a pit on 2 soft tires, 7 laps on the softs. Not unreasonable. Anyone who pits now should be going on to those softs. But just as we say it, Yannick is taking the mediums, it seems. No, Yannick does take the softs. He'll come out in 10th place and have to work his way back. Kotsod, however, as we said, was probably disappointed in his performance, is now into 11th, but those hards aren't going to last. I don't think he will be in the running for a point here. Perhaps Austin Dunn might on his new tires, but otherwise, as they get lapped, it looks like the top 10 are pretty much decided. Yannick 43 being the last of those right now, looking to pass some drivers on his last stint on the track. Guetzli boy now fighting Amoir as Trixie holds on to a lead. Loses out. Those tires have got no grip left on them. He's got to get in for his softs now. It is the time to do it. 6 laps left for a maximum stint on the softs. Maximum performance stint on the softs of merely 5 laps. At the front, Trixie passed by Enigma again. We just missed it. Trixie tires really getting worn out here. Not a unexpected pass by any reach, but Trixie is pushing these tires longer and longer. That short soft stint gets quicker and quicker, but as that stint improves, the ground he has to make up also increases. Enigma in a great position right now, increasing the lead to nearly 3 seconds. How will he do with this lap traffic? Asni and Yannick, they're battling themselves for 8th position. He doesn't want to disrupt their day too much, and they do not want to give any leeway in the midst of their own battle. Trixie into the pits. Oh my god, and rain is coming again. I can't believe it. Trixie punished once again by the weather here in Sochi. His home course has been unkind to him. Guetzli just comes in to grab the wets. It should be wets for everyone to end the race. Unless a little fake rain comes, Trixie's hopes of winning this race are absolutely gone. An MEV 1-2 looks to be the likely result if the weather stays. Let's find out how this concludes. An absolute door knocker here in Sochi today with the variable weather. Trixie onto those wets. Let's see how much ground he has to make up in just 2 laps to do it. 3 laps, I guess, on the out lap here. It's going to be 3 seconds to Amoir, and Amoir is 7.45 seconds behind Enigma. The rain will let up, but will not go away. We will finish here on the wets. It's Chevy Microbus, Apollon, Toli, Cookie, Pamushis, Sir Simplot, and Tomatoes battling with Levy. Todd Sod out of reach with Austin Dunn. Of 10th place, Ningen Fur is right there. Trixie rounds the corner 2.2 seconds behind. Second place now. The hopes of winning slipped through his fingertips. Our point sitters right now are Ningen Fur holding on to Austin Dunn. Asni ahead for DFR. Yannick in the GOD. 8 seconds behind Lal-Z. Hyperion and Fabio battling each other for the top 5 spot. 5th and 6th. They seem to be matching each other's strategy, each sliding off the track in these wet conditions and catching some gravel. And Runoff Guetzley in 4th place quite comfortably. Trixie now battling Amoir. 2nd is the best he will be able to get. Enigma is much too far ahead. Will cruise easily to his first victory of the season and his first points of the season. Motor Evid, a 1-2 not to be gained, it looks like. However, a double podium for now. The strongest and most dominant vehicle finally taking the opportunity to assert it as such here in Sochi. Trixie, probably with the 4 token spend, 2 more tokens than any other driver on the course, the most unlucky chap in the virtual leagues this week. It's a shame. Congratulations to Enigma and Amoir and the whole MEV squad on their performance, and Guetzley boy getting essential points with a lower spend. Fabio and Hyperion, not a bad result for FFR. They were nervous at one point when they had a driver out of the points, but they wrap it up in 5th and 6th respectively. Lal-Z holding on to 7th for Scott Pole Auto, pushing forward, progressing ever further up that grid. Yannick 43, the other GOD, taking 8th. Asni, another couple points to add to the Danube Flow total. That brings them to 3 on the season. They need to get moving if they want to make any moves at a promotion this season. Ningen Fur wrapping it up for Starlight in 10th. Outside the points today, we have Austin Dunn 4-3-4-4 for Lahama Racing. Not a great outcome, not what he was looking for with his spending. Nonetheless, that is the way the cookie crumbles as owner Cookie looks on. Todd Sod in 12th, out of the points once again for Danube Flow. Tomatoes in 13th, Sir Simplot in 14th. Levioso and Pamushis take a CPR 15-16. Owner Cookie, as mentioned above, in 17th for Lahama. Toli in 18th. Apollon 19th. And Chevrolet Microbus in last. And with that, Podium Trixie moves up into the lead above Hyperion. Very tight at the top. Yannick doing amazingly for the greatest of driving, right up there with the former returning teams. Levioso, not too shabby too. These new teams are making their splash early on in the season. In the constructors standings, we've got Fast still up at the top, but hot on their tails, making big gains. All of those drivers, GOD, WTech Starlight, and Motor Evid Autosports, making big bounds the last coming weeks. They are on the rise. Danube Flow starting to pick up some skills compared to their partner team. EVO still scoreless. We will be back racing in the Lossage Ring on the 6th of January. Enjoy the holidays and enjoy the West next week.